Patanjali Yogasutra, Shlok number 16th. Tat Param Purush Khyatir Gunvay Trishnam. That is extreme non attachment which gives up even the qualities and comes from the knowledge of the real nature of the Purusha. Commentary by Swami Vivekananda. It is the highest manifestation of the power of Vairagya when it takes away even our attraction towards the qualities. We have first to understand what the Purusha, the Self, is and what the qualities are. According to Yoga philosophy, the whole of nature consists of three qualities or forces. One is called tamas, another rajas, and the third sattva. These three qualities manifest themselves in the physical world as darkness or inactivity, attraction or repulsion, and equilibrium of the two. Everything that is in nature, all manifestations are combinations and recombinations of these three forces. Nature has been divided into various categories by the Sankhyas. The self of man is beyond all these, beyond nature. It is effulgent, pure, and perfect. Whatever of intelligence we see in nature is but the reflection of this self upon nature. Nature itself is insentient. You must remember that the word nature also includes the mind. Mind is in nature, thought is in nature, from thought down to the gross set form of nature. Everything is in nature, the manifestation of nature. This nature has covered the self of man, and when nature takes away the covering, the self appears in its own glory. The non attachment, as described in aphorism as being control of objects of nature, is the greatest help towards manifesting the self. The next aphorism defines samadhi, perfect concentration, which is the goal of the yogi. Shlok number 17th. वितर्क विचारानंद स्मिता रूपानु गमाद sampragyatya. The concentration called right knowledge is that which is followed by reasoning, discrimination, bliss, unqualified egoism. Commentary by Swami Vivekananda. Samadhi is divided into two varieties. One is called the samprajnata and the other is asamprajnata. In the samprajnata samadhi come all the powers of controlling nature. It is of four varieties. The first variety is called the savitarka, when the mind meditates upon an object again and again by isolating it from other object. There are two sorts of objects for meditation in the 25 categories of the Sankhyas. First, the 24 insentient categories of nature, and second, the one sentient Purusha. This part of yoga is based entirely on Sankhya philosophy, about which I have already told you. As you will remember, egoism and will and mind have a common basis, the chitta or the mind stuff, out of which they are all manufactured. The mind stuff takes in the forces of nature and projects them as thought. There must be something again where both force and matter are one. This is called avyakta, the unmanifested state of nature before creation, and to which after the end of a cycle the whole of nature returns, to come out again after another period. Beyond that is the Purusha, the essence of intelligence. Knowledge is power, and as soon as we begin to know a thing, we get power over it. So also when the mind begins to meditate on the different elements, it gains power over them. That sort of meditation where the external gross elements are the object is called savitarka. Vitarka means question, savitarka with question, questioning the elements, as it were, that they may give their truths and their powers to the man who meditates upon them. There is no liberation in getting powers. It is a worldly search after enjoyments, and there is no enjoyment in this life. All search for enjoyment is vain. This is the old lesson which man finds so hard to learn. When he does learn it, he gets out of the universe and becomes free. The possession of what are called occult powers is only intensifying the world and in the end intensifying suffering. Though, as a scientist, Patanjali is bound to point out the possibilities of this science, he never misses an opportunity to warn us against these powers. Again, in the very same meditation, when one struggles to take the elements out of time and space and think of them as they are, it is called nirvitarka, without question. When the meditation goes a step higher and takes the Tanmantras as its object and thinks of them as in time and space, it is called savichara, with discrimination. And when in the same meditation one eliminates time and space and thinks of the fine elements as they are, it is called nirvichara, without discrimination. The next step is when the elements are given up, both gross and fine, and the object of meditation is the interior organ, the thinking organ. When the thinking organ is thought of as bereft of the qualities of activities and dullness, it is then called the sananda, the blissful samadhi, when the mind itself is the object of meditation. When meditation becomes very ripe and concentrated, when all ideas of the gross and fine materials are given up, when the sattva state only of the ego remains, but differentiated from all other objects, it is called Sasmita Samadhi. The man who has attained to this has attained to what is called in the Vedas bereft of body. He can think of himself as without his gross body, but he will have to think of himself as with a fine body. Those that in this state get merged in nature without attaining the goal are called Prakriti Lyas, but those who do not stop even there reach the goal, which is freedom.